Hi, I just wanted to review the sayings for the lines and the spaces in the alto clef. So, if you can see these, for the lines, we've got fat, alley, cats, eat, garbage. So the way that that works is like this. Fat, alley, cats, eat, garbage. That also works up and down. Fat, alley, cats, eat, garbage. Just like that. We also have the spaces. For the spaces, we say, gummy bears die first. I know it's a little violent. And the way that that works is gummy bears die first. Those are on the spaces. Gummy bears die first. If I were to put those in, I'm going to switch to lowercase for a second. Usually I use a different color, but my colors aren't great. So if I were to put those inside of our fat alley cats, we can see that it just goes in alphabetical order. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We just follow the alphabet. It can keep going down, it can keep going up, but that's how that works. But for now, I'm going to take those out because I want to keep them separated as the lines in the space. Fat, alley, cats, eat, garbage, gummy bears die first. Let's do a couple examples of each of these groups. So let me just draw these real quick. Let's start with these. So I know that fat alley cats eat garbage. The first word of that is fat, so there's F. I know that that's an F. I know that fat alley cats, that's a C. Fat alley cats eat, that's an E. Fat alley, that's an A. Fat alley cats eat garbage, G. Let's do a couple more of those. I'm going to make a new measure. Alright, in our new measure, I know that fat alley cats eat, E. Try this measure with me. Fat alley cats, that's a C. Fat alley cats eat, that's an E. Fat alley cats eat garbage, that's a G, because garbage starts with a G. Fat alley cats, C. Fat alley, A. Fat, F. Fat alley, A. See how easy that is if you can remember the sayings? Fat alley cats eat garbage for the lines. Let's go over some for the spaces. You can rewind that if you want to quiz yourself again. So now we're looking at the spaces. We said gummy bears die first. We'll do just an easy one. Gummy bears die first. I know that gummy starts with a G, so that's G. Gummy bears die, that's a D. Gummy bears die first, that's an F. Gummy bears, that's a B. Let's try a few more. Okay, so now we're on this measure. Gummy bears die first. That's an F. Gummy bears, that's a B. Gummy, bears, die, that's a D. Gummy, that's a G. Gummy, bears, make sure you're doing this with me. Gummy, bears, that's a B. Gummy, bears, die, first, that's an F. Gummy, bears, die, that's a D. Gummy, G. See again how easy that is if you can just remember the gummy bears die first. Alright, let's mix them up. So we're going to combine the lines and the spaces. So as we do this, I want you to ask yourself, is it on a line or a space? And then I want you to remember what the saying is, and then you can figure out which note it is. Give me a second to just draw these examples. Okay. Here we go. It's on a line. I can see the line going through it. That means that fat, oh, it's right there. That's an F. Here's a space, so I know that gummy bears, that's a B. It's a line. Fat, alley, cats, so that's a C. It's on a space, so gummy, G. It's on a line. Fat, alley, cats. Eat. That's an E. Sorry, I got distracted by that sound. Spaces, gummy, bears, die, first. F. It's a line. Fat, alley, cats, eat. Garbage, that's a G. A space note, gummy, bears, die. A space note, gummy, bears, so that's a B. It's a line note, fat, alley, cats, that's a C. Fat, alley, that's an A. Switch to spaces, gummy, that's a G. Back to lines, fat, that's an F. We've got our spaces, gummy, bears, die, first, that's an F. We've got a top line, so we know that fat, alley, cats, eat, garbage. That's a G. So if that was too fast for you, you can slow this video down and try that again, or you can try it at speed again, but I do suggest you review that. So let's add a couple things. So we have this thing. Do you know what that's called? Sometimes it gets called a hashtag. We here in the music world call it a sharp. There it is, a sharp. So let me give you a few examples. Let's start with this one. So here, it's a line note. I know that fat, alley, cats, that's a C sharp. What about this one? I can also see that that's on the same line. I know that fat, alley, cats, it's still a C. Is it sharp or no? It is sharp because they told us that this is sharp and they haven't told us anything different, so that stays true for the whole measure. Remember, a measure is a box up until the bar line, so it stays true for that whole measure. So we've got C sharp, C sharp. I know that gummy bears, that's a B. I know that fat, alley, cats, that's a C. It's still a C sharp because this stays true for the whole measure unless they tell us otherwise. So we've got C sharp, B, C sharp. Let's do a couple more. All right, so in this measure, it's a new measure. Now the fat alley cats, that's a C. Is this one sharp? It's a new measure from this one, so this information doesn't matter anymore. Have they told us anything yet? No. So is it sharp? No. But now they told us that it's sharp, and I know that fat alley cats, it's still a C. I can see that it's still on the same line. And they added a sharp, so C sharp. I know that gummy bears die, that's a D. Fat alley cats, that's a C. Now is this C sharp? Yes, because they told us the information here, they haven't told us anything different, and we're still in the same measure. So we've got C, natural, C sharp, D, and still C sharp. So let's add something else. We have sharps and we also have these. They look a little bit more like a lowercase b, but we call it a flat. We've got sharps, we've got flats. So if I have a flat, a flat lowers a note. A sharp makes a note higher. A flat makes a note lower. So higher, lower. I know that gummy bears, so that's a B flat. And I know that fat alley cats, that's a C. So B flat, C, gummy bears. I know that this is another B. This one was flat. Is this one flat? It's in the same measure, same information. Yes, this one is also flat. Look, another one. Is this one flat? Yep. B flat, C, B flat, B flat. They only have to tell us that information once in each measure. Let's try another one. Okay, so for this one, I went slightly outside of our sayings, but if I know that this line is F for fat alley cats eat garbage, and I just go one behind that in the alphabet, if this is F, this is E. Fat alley cats eat. So this is E flat. I know that I just figured out that this is E. Is this one flat? It's in the same measure, same information, same name. It's in a different octave. Is it still flat? Yeah, because it still has the same information and the same name. So E flat, E flat. What about this one? I know that fat alley cats eat. That's E. I know that E is flat in this measure. Is it flat? Yes. What about this? We've got another one of these. Is this still flat? Yes. So every note in this measure is E flat. E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat. See how that works? So it does not matter what octave it's in, as long as it was already classified as flat, it will stay flat until you start a new measure. Let's add something else. So we've got sharps, we've got flats, and we've got naturals. Naturals. To draw that, I draw like an L, and then just an upside down L. Sorry, that's hard to do backwards. But that is the natural. So most of the notes that we play are naturals. They just don't have to tell us. If they have a sharp and they want to get rid of the sharp, they use the natural to cancel it out and go back to the regular note. Same with the flat. If it was just flat, they can add the natural and it cancels it out and you go back to just the natural note. So let me draw a couple examples of that. Okay, so here we go. I know that Fat Alley Cats, so that's a C sharp, and then they added a natural, so it cancels out the sharp, and this is just C natural. I know that Gummy Bears, so that's a B, it's a B flat, because we've got flat. They canceled out with the natural, Gummy Bears, so that's just B natural. C sharp, C natural, B flat, B natural. Let's do another example of that. Okay, so in this measure, I know that Fat Alley Cats, it's C sharp. I know that Fat Alley Cats, what do you think? Is this one sharp? Yeah, because they gave us the information and nothing has changed yet, and it's still in the same measure. So C sharp, C sharp. Now we see natural, Fat Alley Cats. It's still C. I can see that the next one's the same too because they're on the same line. C sharp, C sharp, C natural, because we haven't had any new information since that natural, so now that carries over. And then I know the Gummy Bears, that's a B. I don't see any information in front of it, so it's automatically a natural. They only have to tell us this sign if it's canceling something out. So this is B natural and they don't have to tell us. And then it goes to flat, B flat. And then if they wanted us, if I change that to an eighth note and squeeze another note in there, and if they wanted it to be natural, they'd have to put the natural sign. Sorry, that's a B. C sharp, C sharp, C natural, B natural, B flat, and then to cancel out that flat and go back to B natural, they'd have to give us that sign. So I hope that that makes sense. Remember, that works for any octave, any string, as long as it shares the same name and it follows whatever information is already provided. I hope that that makes sense. See you next time.